Guys, it's Friday. I just woke up. I'm also like partially hoarse. So we're about to make some tea. But y'all, it's really snowing. I didn't believe it was gonna like snow like this. It's really freaking snowing. Oh my gosh. I want to go touch it so bad. But here's the problem. So I don't have gloves. Don't ask me why I don't have gloves. It's just I realized I don't have gloves. I was supposed to borrow gloves from a friend yesterday, and I completely forgot to get them while I was at their house. But guys, we have to go see the snow. It's literally snowing. All right, I don't know about y'all, but I want to see the snow. And then we're going to come back in and like get set up, because what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to be out here because I want to see the snow all day. And we're going to like, you know, have a nice fun little snow day, but we have to see the snow, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see, I need to find my beanie. I had a beanie on yesterday. I'm just honestly trying to figure out, how am I supposed to be productive when there's snow outside? There's snow outside. So yeah, friends, I think we are going to be indoors today, tomorrow, probably Sunday. Like, I just don't see this. I don't see this clearing up today. At least not right now, because it's still actively snow falling for another few hours. So I think we're gonna be in here, which will be fun. Actually, I'm excited. All right, I'm going to boil some water for some tea, because as y'all hear, my voice is not 100%. So we need to boil some tea, because I don't feel I don't feel sick or anything. It's just my voice is gone, kind of. But we're gonna power through. Okay, guys. So I'm in the living room. I have some books. I have my headphones, my water. I'm like looking around. I have water. I have tea. I have snacks. I have my computer, my backpack with my notebooks and things, and my blanket. So I'm doing good. And I have my remote. That's very important. We're definitely going to be reading today. I still have work to do today. The fact that it's snowing, a lot of people that would be working in person in this company that I work for can't work today. So that probably is going to drastically reduce what I have to do today, which is great, but I still have things to do. And then once we get to a place where that can stop, we're definitely just going to be reading. I wouldn't be surprised if I stayed up all night to read. I had plans tomorrow, but I'm not sure if there's going to be a drastic turnaround in 24 hours where the roads will be drivable. Like, I just don't see this happening. I have a feeling I'm going to be here, literally inside, like not leaving the house for at least through tomorrow, or at least at this point of the day. It's only 8:54 a.m. on Friday morning, but I just have a feeling that that's what we're up against. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I have to start working right at 9. So I'm just gonna kind of get set up. I finished. We gotta come back. So we're definitely gonna talk, because I need to catch you guys up on a couple of things. I think I already said this, but I had a Tuesday vlog that was gonna be like another productive / reading vlog, but that was the day I started not feeling so good. So I just trashed the whole thing. But in Tuesday's video, I was talking about finishing Untamed, which now we'll have to talk here because I didn't talk about it in that video because that video doesn't even exist. What else? Why is my bun so lopsided? Hello? Yeah, I finished Untamed last night. On my drive home, I finished The Last Drop of Hemlock, which is the second in that Jazz Murder mystery series. There's a third one in that series that I do not see on Libby. And so I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to read the last one, because I actually want to read the last one, and then that would be one of my completed series, which is one of my book goals. So that would be cool. I'm still working on 7 Year Slip. Mind you, by the time y'all see this video, it will be closer to the end of the month. However, I started this just a few days ago. So I do plan on reading this today as well. Ideally, I would like to finish it. Also, the holds became available for the audiobooks of both of these books. Now, I actually started this book 2 years ago, and what's so interesting is I did not DNF it. I literally forgot. because I wanted this to be a book that I was going to read throughout the year because it's so thick. Like, okay, Knock 'Em Out's thick, but this one's thick. Okay, she's thick. So with that, I was going to read this like a little throughout the year last year, or was that 2 years ago? 2 years ago, I was going to just read this a little at a time, or maybe it was last year. I don't remember. The point is, I was going to read this a little bit at a time each month. And then like I started reading some really, really good books, and I literally forgot to come back to this. So we're going to start over and commit to this. The audiobook is available on Libby. And so what I'm thinking about doing is reading as much of this with the audiobook like at the same time as possible. And then maybe trying to renew the audiobook and try to get through as much of this. It's not even a boring book. It's just big and daunting. And I was just like, it's going to take me all year. It probably won't take me all year if I actually try. And then the audiobook for this book also became available. This one I've been wanting to read for a while, and I feel like this would be a good one to read today. It is, let's see, looks like it's 314 pages long, which isn't bad at all. I actually don't know what this one's about at all. Let's read the back and see. Captivating love story that is also a clear-eyed look at the effects of injustice in contemporary American life. You got me right there. This one's speaking to me. This one's speaking to me. I've had this book for some time. I feel like this was one of my Goodwill finds, actually. It was either a Goodwill find or a half-priced find, because I know I didn't get this brand new. No, I just read the back of this. This one may have to come right after 7 Year Slip. It might have to. I'm not sure. We're going to see. I mean, by the looks of the outdoors, it's looking like we're going to be here a while. So it looks like I can knock these out. So I need to listen to an audiobook right now while I am working. And I don't want to listen to An American Marriage. I don't want to start listening to that one only because I want to actually start it with the book. Like I want to immersive read that one. But I feel like I had another whole, no, actually, it's these two books. Those are the only two I have available. But I will check back in with you guys in a little bit to tell you guys which audiobook I'm reading right now, and also just to check in and see like what's going on. But yeah, this is gonna be a fun day. I'm excited. But I'll see y'all in a little bit. Ooh, child, you can tell I've sat here. Okay, I'm just checking in with you guys. It's 10:30. It's not like doing any heavy snow falling right now. Like it's pretty much just snow on the ground. So I'm going to check the weather in a second and see like what's going to happen, because I'm not sure if we're going to get any more snowfall or if this is it. I'm not really 100% sure. I'm listening to The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. It's really good so far. I did not read anything about it prior to. I saw that it was an 8-hour listen, sci-fi, and that was it. That's all I got. And the cover was cool. Obviously, I judge covers. We've already discussed this. So I'm still working right now. There's some things that I have some new things I have to do. I just finished some stuff that needed to be done before 10. Now there's some new stuff I need to do. So I'm going to get back to listening. I was listening with my headphones on 2 times speed. The narration was super slow. So even if you're someone that doesn't typically read books fast or like listen to audiobooks fast, this one I feel like you'd want to speed up, because the narration seriously is slower than regular conversation speed. And so I feel like with that, anyone would want to speed this up. And that's not to say that in a bad way. I just feel like a solid 1 speed is just too slow. I'm not speeding it up anymore only because I am doing other things and I want to concentrate on both. And if I were to speed it up, I'm not going to concentrate. So I have it on 2 speed so that it's just an easy flow. But so far, so good. It's sci-fi. It's definitely got some deeper, more emotional undertones to it, like just some like overall life contemplation themes. Like it's good. I really actually like this so far, but I don't want to put too much into it right now as far as like how I feel about it, but I like it. I have 3 hours and 40-ish minutes left, and it is an 8-hour listen, so we're just going right along. So far, so good. So I'm gonna get back to work, but that's what I chose to read. We're about 50% done with that one. And then on my break, I'll probably, depending on how far I am, I'll give you guys some more thoughts about it. But today we definitely need to talk about Untamed, because we have to discuss that. I really wish I had kept the footage of me talking about that book specifically on Tuesday, But I just really sounded crazy. So I was just like, nah. Like, I was so tired and it was so obvious. I was like, no, we're going to start over. There's a snowball fight happening outside and I'm ready to join. Put me in, coach. Also, I'm listening to it on Ever and because I forgot to cancel my subscription. So, like, I was like, well, Imani, go ahead and use your, like, premium credit for the month since you paid for it. So I'm actually listening to this one on Ever and not on Libby like I normally do. We're going to go ahead and get back to work. And then I'll check in with you guys probably in another hour and a half. We'll do a little update. And we'll go from there. Here's an update. That's what it's looking like outside. I know you guys can't see it too terribly well. But yeah, that's what we're looking at out the doors. I am laying down because I wanted to. I'm really tired suddenly. Like, I just want to take a small nap. Not even a long nap, just like a little baby nap, like a power nap, if you will. I don't know if I want to take a nap just because I'm comfortable or am I really tired? Like, I'm not really sure. Sometimes I just get so cozy that I just drift off to sleep. Like, I'm not necessarily tired. I'm comfy. I did want to try these snacks that I have, so I wanted to do that on camera. So I've never tried these before. The Favorite Day Red Velvet Cream Filled Cookies. Chocolate flavored coated red velvet cookies with cream flavored filling. Full of love. That's cute. I guess this is a Valentine's Day treat. Love Target brand snacks. Like, they are so good. They're so good. I really hope I like these. I'll be sad if I don't. That's what they look like. I like them. Yeah, I like these. Those are good. Yes, in about 30 minutes, I'll be able to take a break from working. But I am still listening to the Midnight Library, and it's so good. I just literally kept staring at those cookies, and I was like, I want to try one. I feel a nap coming on. I really want to take a nap. Okay, let's take these off. Oof. It is 2:30. I know I was gonna like check in with you guys like what 45-ish minutes ago, but girl, I took a nap. And then when I woke up, I literally just jumped straight back into working. So yeah. So update with the snow, it is melting a little bit, but there's still a lot out here. I'm gonna show you guys real quick. So as you guys can see, people have definitely been walking through it. There's still a lot of snow out there, but there's definitely people trying to leave. Like, if you guys can see, there's like now some tracks out there. But yeah, I think on the other side, most of the snow has not been touched yet. Let's see. So back here, most of the snow still hasn't really been touched. It is melting though, as you can see right here on these generators. But yeah, the roads are definitely starting to defrost. Well, I guess not defrost. In general, the snow is definitely beginning to melt, but because the temp is going to still be below freezing, this is all just about to be one icy place. Definitely tell snow is melting because looking under the cars, it's like wet, like there's water actively dripping down. So it's definitely melting right now, which makes me sad because like, no, I want the snow. I don't want ice. I want snow. I want pretty white snow. It's so funny watching the little kids outside. They're like sledding. And it's like, because they've been going up and down for hours, it's like grass now, but they're committed. And I love that. It's so cute. Okay, so I still have an hour of work to do and then I'm completely free for today. So I'll be like officially done at 4 o'clock. But anyways, so I'm still listening to the Midnight Library. I took a bit of a break because I slept way longer than I thought I would. I slept my entire lunch break, so I took an hour-long nap. So I'm under 2 hours to go. And then I had to pause it a few times because I had to call some people and send some voice messages. But I know I can already say to you guys that I do believe this is another 4-star read. I don't know if it's going to be a 4.5 because the main character in the story, I understand why she's the way she is, but it makes me sad. I don't know. I'm a little on the fence about, is it supposed to be a 4.5 or a 4? Obviously, I'm not going to make that judgment call until I'm done with the book. And maybe even with that, I may wait a while. I don't know. Oh my goodness, friends. It's much later. It's 6 o'clock. I took a nap. I fell back asleep. And then I woke back up to finish the Midnight Library. And I was just like, girl, wake up. Stay up. Now, I'm up. I hope. I think part of the problem is, this is a slight tangent that has nothing to do with books, but everything to do about life. I do feel as though for myself, I'm just in a place right now where it's just been so busy. It has been so busy for like 2 straight months. And there has not been a whole lot of downtime for me to experience and to relax, honestly. I think because of that, when I am able to have this amount of downtime, my body doesn't know what else to do other than completely let go and go to sleep. And I'm not entirely mad at this outcome either. You know what I mean? Like, whatever your body's trying to tell you to do, you should listen to it. And when you don't, it will force you to listen to itself. And so I do feel as though I've just been in a season of life that has just been extremely on go, like more on go than normal. I'd argue to say I'm pretty much always on the go, but I've been like insanely busy. And I think to have today to just relax, and it's like so peaceful outside with this snow, my body just was like, all right, you're going to really shut it down. Good night. So because of this, it's now 6 o'clock and I just woke up. There is a football game at 7:30 that I need to watch. I don't know why I thought that was tomorrow. That's today. We've got to watch that. So I need to figure out what I want to eat. I'm not too terribly hungry because I've been snacking. I've eaten all of those red velvet cookies. I think I'm going to pop some popcorn. Like, just have a bag of popcorn, pull out some chips. Like, I'm still going to eat a dinner, but like, just go ahead and have some snacks out because I'm going right back to the couch. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, let me get my clothes and put them in the washing machine so that we can go ahead and get some laundry started. But I want to talk to you guys about the Midnight Library, and I also want to talk about Untamed because I just finished the Midnight Library and we never talked about Untamed in this video yet, I think. So we're going to do that. So let's put some clothes in the washing machine and then let's talk some books. I'm trying to decide, do I want to do a part 1 and a part 2 to our snow vlog? Like, do I want to do just Friday and then do Saturday as a separate video? I'm not really sure yet. This is so big back that I still have the cookie box in the sofa. Oh my gosh. Okay, I look crazy, but I want to talk about books. Okay, so we're back. I have a whole bowl of popcorn. I still have these that I have not tried yet. These mango chili gummy bears. We may eat those tomorrow or later tonight. I'm not really sure yet. I still have regular gummy worms. And then I have plenty of food to eat in the fridge. I'm not feeling like a meal yet. So we're not gonna eat a meal yet, but we're locked and loaded with the snacks. Okay, so let's just talk about books for a minute because that's why we're all here. That is why we are all gathered. That is why you guys are watching this very chaotic vlog of Amani just taking a nap every 4 hours. So let's first address Untamed by Glennon Doyle. So I'm gonna put a picture of the book right here. I can't specifically remember which one. Overall, solid read. I don't think it was a bad book. I do, however, in the same sentence, vehemently disagree with some of the things that were discussed in the book. I just realized we have 3 books to discuss, so let's get to yapping. So when it comes to Untamed, I did not dislike the book. I do think that the author is a wonderful writer in the sense of the actual descriptions of things and how it was portrayed. It's so beautiful. It's almost poetic. But for it to be marketed as a memoir and to only be nothing but a collection of short stories, I do feel like that's one big discrepancy. It is a memoir in the sense of we are talking about one's life, but it is not chronological, which is, you know, there are memoirs that are not chronological, but I do feel as though this one should have been. I think I referenced this book in that other video. I can't remember, but I read Dick Van Dyke's book, Keep Moving, either last year or the year before. And granted, this man is like 90 plus years old and he's an American legend. Who's going to tell him what he cannot and can do? But his book is a collection of short stories. You know, it's a memoir for sure, but his reads and he narrates it as well, in as much as Glennon narrates this book. But Dick Van Dyke narrates his book, and you can tell it's just like sitting down and listening to your grandpa talk. Like, it's just so fun. It's so engaging. And you're just listening to him just go on his own little tangents, okay? It makes sense for Dick Van Dyke. For Glennon Doyle, who's a writer and known for your writing abilities, I feel like I was very let down by the fact that it was so chaotic and all over the place. I feel like if that was the vibe for real, that's cool. But I don't know. It just did not give me the impression upon reading it that I would be reading a collection of short stories. I don't know what that is. I just can't get past the fact that it wasn't chronological. I just can't get past that. That's not inherently a bad thing. I don't even know if the word misled is really the right word. I didn't like it. I just wasn't a fan of the structure of the book. I just said this, but I do think the writer is extraordinary at description. These stories she brought to life in such an amazing and powerful way. I love how motivating some of these short stories were. I love how empowering and insightful some of these stories were. I truly would sit there and listen to some of them, and by the end of the chapter, I was just like, wow, like that was really good, or that's so interesting, or that's a good take. And so I appreciate that. Like, there are gems in this book to take away. This would be a good annotating book for those that are looking for those that like to annotate books. This one I feel would be a really good book to annotate. Okay, so let's just stop beating around the bush and let me tell you guys why I really disliked it. So, you know, this one is going to be very reflective of my own personal morals and values, so please take that as what this is. This part I'm telling you has nothing to do with any technicalities of the book or any structural pieces of the book. This is just my personal take on it. And this is something that people are going to agree to disagree on respectfully, and that's fine. But I'm just telling you from my point of view how I felt about the book. So she talks a lot about the denouncement of her Christianity and pulling away from the church due to her decision to come out as gay, right? And while, you know, that's what it is, I do feel as though I feel both things, and I hope this is going to be a safe space. I feel two things on the opposite side of the coin. I do feel as though churches need to understand that in order to really bring people to Christ, to be super judgmental and to be very holier than thou is extremely hypocritical. And it happens so often. It happens in so many churches. And it's not even just about the LGBTQ plus rights sector of things. This is with a lot of things. It's really frustrating. It's something that we see generationally. I do think as the modern generations are coming in, I think there's a bigger push to be a little bit more open and understanding and accepting. But I do think even with that, there's a limit. Okay. So that's where I feel like I'm about to teeter on some icy grounds. So let's just get into it. I want this to become a conversation about Christianity and all the things, but it is a huge part of my identity and my world. And this is why reading some parts of the book made me a little uncomfortable. I feel like I totally understand why she felt the need to remove herself from the church. And I have to learn to respect people's decisions to remove themselves from the church. I never push people to be like, oh, well, why, or if they don't feel comfortable sharing that with me, I don't press too much, because sometimes that can be a very sensitive topic matter, because there is a such thing as church hurt and church abuse. All forms of abuse can happen in a church setting. A church is not exempt from that. And so I try really hard not to push people that have had experiences that have pretty much pushed them away from joining or rejoining the church, or found some other faith base that they better align with. I respect that. However, what I don't like is the fact that this is a book that is published and put everywhere. And instead of just leaving it at, hey, where I went to church, the people in that community made me feel alienated. I do feel as though this book went on quite a ramble, I'm losing the word, but it was a wild ride of continuously, I felt like trashing the church as a whole. And I don't think that's fair. And so with that, I think what I struggled with was this anger that was starting to slowly find its way to the surface as I was reading this book, because I'm reading this as a Christian woman. I'm just like, okay, but I'm not like that. And I know a lot of people who aren't like that. And maybe that's your experience, but say that's your experience, but don't sit there and say, oh, I don't need church. No one needs church to follow Christ. Actually, that's a lie. It doesn't mean you have to be one of those people that goes to church every single Sunday and goes to the Bible studies and the midweeks and the revivals or whatever you have. But you can't do this alone. You can't do a walk with Christ by yourself. I mean, it does take community. And I do think that's part of the problem is some communities all flock together because they have the same judgmental, closed-minded, very stereotypical, very prejudiced, very discriminatory mindset. And so that community is that, and then that person feels like they need to remove themselves from that community. Fine, but there's so many other communities. You know, there's so many other bodies of people that does not apply to. And so I was just reading it and I was just like, I don't like the fact that somebody's probably reading this book and thinking to themselves, wow, I don't need church, or God lives within me and that's all I ever need. And it doesn't matter what the heck I do in life, God will love me. And it's like, well, let's just pause. That's not necessarily fully true. So that was just how I felt about the book. You know, I just really didn't like the fact that it was very much like, well, I don't need church. God loves me regardless. And pretty much F all y'all. And I'm just like, sis, not necessarily. It's kind of a sticky, scary, slippery slope that I don't want to dive into too deep on a booktube. Now, in personal discussions, I will definitely go into more in depth about it, but I just feel like that was something that made me a little upset. But at the very same time, her feelings are so valid as far as the judgment and feeling like she couldn't talk to certain people anymore. Some people really have ill intentions and are very mean people and hide behind Christianity or use that as a shield to be terrible people. I'm not even going to say what I'm thinking, but we're just going to leave it there. The point is, there's some people out there that say they're Christian, but by the way they act and by the way they handle life and by the way they treat others is quite literally so contradictory. There's no way in the world that they are Christian at their core. Maybe by title, but not for real. But again, these are things that I don't necessarily want to fully dive into right here in this space. It's just, I'm telling you guys, these are my thoughts about the book. I just think as a reader of a certain type, this book actually made me put my guard up. And I think the point of the book was for everyone to put their guards down. So there's that. So I hope you guys understand that when it comes to Untamed, it's definitely a very complicated feeling I have towards the book. It is something I would recommend to certain people. I see by reading this book, there's certain people that I know would actually really love this book. And I also see how there's some people that I would never ever recommend this book to. And I do feel like it's a little bit abrasive, and this is me just being slightly nitpicky. So please guys, don't think that I'm like always this nitpicky, because I'm really not. But when it comes to this book, it brought the nitpickiness out of me. Again, she has some really beautiful short stories, but it was like we kept circling back to, well, I hope I'm not a racist. I hope, you know, this, I hope that. And I'm sure this is controversial, but I'm living my truth. And it's like, all right, calm down, sis. Like, we get it. We got it 4 chapters ago, actually. So that is my hot take on Untamed. So if you guys have read this book, have any thoughts, I'd love to hear it, whether you want to comment in this video or if you want to comment on Instagram or TikTok, however. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts. I actually had a personal conversation with a friend of mine about this book via voice message just the other day, and it was just a really good conversation. So this book is good to like have a conversation around, even if you have differing viewpoints. But I do hope that you guys hear my takeaways and kind of understand that as you choose whether you're going to read that book or not. All right, that was a lot. I'm so sorry. So next up, I read the second book in this jazz murder mystery trio that I was telling you guys about by Catherine Shellman. We're going to put that book right here. Or maybe it's gonna go right here. I don't know what side of me she's gonna go on, but y'all will see it. And that was such a good book. So if you just want something that's very niche, very fun, but gives you the mystery vibes, I totally would recommend this series. I need to figure out how to get my hands on the third one. I don't know if it's gonna be on Libby or wherever it's gonna be. I gotta find the third one so we can wrap this little trio up. But it's just really, really good. It's in the jazz era of New York. It's the undercover jazz clubs, you know, it's foxtrot, it's the dancing. It's so good. You feel like you're in a jazz club in a basement every time you read this book. It's so good. I don't want to give too much away, but the characters are the same from the book 1 to book 2, and I assume they go on into book 3. Book 2 that I just finished is The Last Drop of Hemlock. The first one was The Last Call at the Nightingale, I do believe, and I don't remember the title of the third one. I like the covers. They're real cute, by the way. This one was centering around Vivian's best friend, Bia. Her uncle died, and everyone is making it to be died by suicide. However, Bia is fully convinced that her uncle did not die by suicide. So the girls are going on this adventure to unpack who potentially killed the uncle, and we're just kind of going through that. So again, it's just straightforward mystery plot with twists, but you know, nothing too dramatic like an Alice Feeney who's like a thriller girly, or like a Frida who's a thriller girly. Like, it's just good mystery. set in the jazz era, set in that fun New York time, okay? I guess I use the word fun loosely because, I mean, in this vlog, you guys saw me talk about and read actively The Midnight Library, and I just finished that one. Right after I woke up, I finished that one for my second nap. That book was so good, guys. So good. I need a hardback of it right now. I need to find it and get it right now because I listened to it today, right? Absolutely freaking amazing. It is, I think I already said this earlier, it's very much sci-fi, it's time travel, but it's very contemporary because there's a lot of contemporary references as far as like things that are happening in today's times. It's so good. Our main character basically has hit a wall and she's ready to end her life. Okay, so the book starts off a couple of hours out from her trying to making the decision to say, I don't want to live past tomorrow. So she ends up in this library. I'm just kind of glazing over it because I want to respect who would want to read this blind. But she goes into this midnight library. You'll have to read it to figure out how she gets there. And basically this library has every possible scenario, every possible outcome of how her life could go. So she is free to try whatever book she wants. She can pull whatever book off the shelf. It's all about her. It's all about her life. At the end, she dies in every single one, but it's the principle about how you want to live your life while you're living it. You know what I mean? Like, is it really so bad in your root life, which is the life that she's currently in, like her actual timeline that she has been in, is called her root life. So it's like, are things really that bad in your root life that you want to switch it out for one of these other lives? And if so, which one? Because at the end of the day, you're going to die, but what do you want to have accomplished in your lifetime? Like, what is worth, it really makes you question, like, what are your morals? What are your values? What are your priorities? What are the things that matter most to you while you're living on earth? And so she's just trying to figure out, where does she really belong? But it's also like, what does she give up to find whatever is the happiness that she's looking for? And where is the source of that happiness? And why is it the source of that happiness? It's so deep. It's so good. I would highly recommend this book. This one was good. I'm really thinking this was going to be a 4.5. Seriously, I really think it's going to be a 4.5, which would be crazy because other than Untamed, this is shaping up to be a very good book month. Like, I'm very impressed. Right now, I think I told you guys this earlier, the football game doesn't start for a little while, so I have some time. But I'm going to read The 7-Year Slip for a little bit. I'll probably read it even during the game, like while I'm watching the game a little bit. I'm going to read this. And then, so I have the audiobooks. I think I already told y'all this morning. I have the audiobooks for both of these books. And so I'm really interested to see if I can knock out this one maybe either late tonight or tomorrow. Since I have to twist my hair, my hands will be actively in my hair, right? So it's going to be a little harder to like physically read a book. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to pick up another audiobook just to listen to while I do my hair, or do I want to keep listening to one of these two audiobooks tomorrow and then just pick back up with the physical book tomorrow afternoon once I'm done with my hair. I know for sure I really want to be reading this one while I'm listening to it. So most likely tomorrow, if I don't pick a separate audiobook to listen to, we'll probably be listening to this one while I'm doing my hair, and then we'll finish up with reading whatever's left while listening to it. I'm thinking maybe, or maybe we'll just get something separate. I don't know what the plan is. Like I told y'all, I'm a mood reader, so we just gonna have to see how I feel in the morning, to be honest. night, friends. It is 12:45 at night, and it's time for me to call it a night, okay? Like, I'm not necessarily tired, but I do know I need to just try to get some rest. And I kind of want to watch some TV, like watch a movie or something. So I think I'm just going to call it a day reading wise and watch some TV. So I think I'm just going to shut off the lights and go watch a movie or at least a TV show or something. But yeah, I feel like today was such a great snow day. I'm going to be so sad when the snow melts away. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. Like, I was so excited for snow, and then realizing that, like, there's no more snow to fall. Like, this is it, what we have outside. I'm, like, sad. So, either this will be the end of part 1, and you guys will see me at the start of a new video for part 2, or you guys will still see me. You'll still see me, but it'll be a continuation of this same video. We'll find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. But for now, good night, friends.